It's showtime, folks. Chase and Big Joe, 1025, 1063 The Game here on this Friday. He's Big Joe. I'm Chase McCabe. Nick Keyser, the reporter, with you here today. What's up, JoJo?
What's happening, man? It is a beautiful Friday. It's going to be a great weekend. As I tell people, when it's like this, get outside and soak up that sunshine, pal.
Yeah. You got to soak it up for sure.
Just do it, man. Doing all right today? Good to see you again.
I'm good. I'm just chilling, man. You said you had an annoyance you wanted to get off your chest. So
I do, and it's real
floor
quick.
is yours.
Well, thank you. We'll get to a lot of fun stuff today. So I've gotten into songwriting, right, over the last 3-4 months. I don't know music, but I know words.
Sure.
So I submitted a song for the NSAI. I don't even know what that damn acronym stands for. So I get back my response or the grade, whatever, right? And it's 1 out of 10, and I get a 6. And I'm just irritated because I'm still where I was, right? I mean, I think the song's the best song of the year. It should be 8 or 9 or 10, or give me a 1 or 2. And I do this because when I would judge Emmy Awards, when I'd get tired towards the end, I would just give whatever the mid-range is. 5, I wouldn't even pay attention. So I don't think they paid attention to my song and just gave me a 6. I've got no feedback. So give me a 1. Let me know I'm terrible and I'll work on it. Or give me the 9 or 10 that I deserve because I believe in myself, even though I don't think I'm very good.
Well,
I'm irritated.
Okay. Well, I got a few things here on this. Number one, why am I just now finding out you're writing songs?
I keep a low profile. Like when I was dancing with the male models, I didn't tell you.
Well,
so you showed up, and I'm like, Chase, what are you doing here? Very awkward.
Yeah. You know, people wanted me to go.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, that's cool. That's so I agree. I mean, people should take the time and actually listen or read the song.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if they did or didn't. I just know what I did. When I did approach that way, I would have been happier with a 1 or 2, dear God, never seen anything again. Or a 10, hey, man, Luke Combs is on line 2 where he wants to cut this song. And so I believe the latter, hopefully, but I don't know, I'm a little irritated. That's it. I'm good. But I'm good. Yeah. I'm good, man. I'm good.
I'm glad. I'm glad you feel better.
Thank you.
It just I woke up today and I was like, today's gonna be a great day.
Oh no,
I was manifesting it's gonna be a great day. And it's still gonna be a great day. There's been a few things that have tried to swerve me off with that. You know, traffic is usually number one of that, but I'm not gonna let it happen.
Don't. I mean, you got your new flannel on, right? Is this new?
No.
Was this a Western shirt?
This is definitely not new.
Well, it buttons, right? You see, you got buttons.
It buttons, and then then I can just
then you get really mad like Hulk and rip it apart.
Rip the shirt off.
And I'm kidding about button. I mean, it's buttons, right? It's not button or Titans, which will start next month. In March, it'll get going. Titans. I'm like, no, it's not the Titans.
Yeah.
It's the Tennessee Titans. That's how we move on down the road.
Yep. I'm going to let that one go, even though I don't want to.
Right. Hey, happy news at Bridgestone last night, right?
Yeah. It was a great win for the Preds. Sean Henry going to join us at 9:30 today. So, it's funny. I always laugh at this. So, Jerry Helper, who's been with the Predators for a long time, since day one. And they had beaten Detroit or somebody. And I walked up to him the day after and I was like, man, that was a really good win last night. And he just kind of looked at me and goes, Chase, they're all good wins.
Ooh, yeah.
And I just said, that's a really good point. I guess I never really
That is a good point. That harkens back to what our good friend Rick Stockstill said about bowl games.
Yeah, I've never been to a bad bowl game.
Never been to a bad bowl, right?
Yeah. No, it makes sense. But yeah, they defeat the Winnipeg Jets 2-1, snapping an 11-game winning streak by Winnipeg. UC Saros looked great last night. I thought that the team around him looked great last night. No Roman Josi. So they had a little extra motivation, and they get the 2-1 win.
Now they head off and take on the Islanders. What an early start tomorrow, right?
Yeah, 10:30 pregame.
Is that? I heard Robbie's doing pregame tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, it's a road game, so he would be.
Big fan of that Robbie Stanley. Yeah,
he's a good young man.
Big fan of him. It's just odd. 11. How often? Maybe once every other year, 11:30 a.m. start.
Yeah, it's not often. It's not often, but I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna get up, cook a little breakfast, and watch the Preds.
What time's the Rangers game on Sunday?
Um,
Is that 5 or 7, or is that also
I don't
11:30?
know.
It's at 6
o'clock. Thank
Okay.
you.
Pregame at 5? Pregame, is that right?
Pregame at 5.
Okay, good. Why can't we go on that trip?
I don't know. You want ask Sean when Sean calls in at 9:30. Be like, hey, we were really appreciative of Chicago, but how come we couldn't go to New York?
I mean, what a treat though in Chicago to go to lunch with Sean Henry and Bill Wickett. I mean,
That was fun, and we went to
Billy Goat.
Billy Goat, yeah, which was that burger was really good too.
Yeah, and then the great Bill Wickett at the Predators. We decided to walk back, and he said, famous quote that he said to me, "Oh, it's just down the block."
Yeah.
I think we walked the Oregon Trail that day. I ended up somewhere that night. No, but it was a fun trip.
It was definitely for sure. Also, we'll talk to Chris Sanders, get his thoughts on the combine that's going on right now. Get his opinion on the Abdul Carter news as well. So we got a stacked and packed show today.
We do. Actually, 2 people texted me. What was the name of the song I wrote? And it's not going to dominate the show, but it is. It's called "I Never Taught You How to Two-Step." It's about a cowboy. His girl leaves him, and he says, "What do you regret?" And he's like, "I never taught her how to two-step."
That's a good one.
And I'm telling you, man, Luke, if you're out there, just call us. I'll take your call during the break. Or I don't even know the big stars again. Hell, I'll take Mark Colley.
Can I take our question of the day? You had just inspired me for the question.
Please, absolutely.
If you were going to write a song about the Tennessee Titans, what would the title be?
Oh, that's a good one. Currently, right now?
Yeah.
Right now. Oh,
you're gonna write a song about the Titans.
We just need like the title of the song.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I got mine.
With a country theme that thrown in there?
Yeah. Whatever.
Okay.
My Two-Tone Tears.
It's the question's over now. How do you top that?
My Two-Tone Tears.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna write that down. My Two-Tone Tears.
Look, every songwriter in Nashville that's listening to this song right now, like, I'm writing this.
What about this old gem? Tennessee Oilers. Red, white, and blue. The Tennessee Oilers. I'll get all over you.
Rodney Dunn.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
From 1998. I don't think we could top My Two-Tone Tears.
It's pretty good.
Now you got me thinking. Oh man.
That's a country song if I've ever heard one.
It is. I'm trying to put like classic country songs and add a Titans twist, like that you picked the fine time to leave me, Lucille.
I asked somebody one time, a songwriter one time, I'm like, how do you write a song? Like, what's the right formula to writing a song? And there's the whole 3 chords and the truth and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they were like, you ever been cheated on? I was like, yeah. There you go. Got a country song right there. Just write about that.
I mean, and your dog.
You ever had your heart break? Yep. Write about that.
Yeah. I mean, I can't. My Two-Tone Tears is fantastic. Did you off the top of your head?
Yeah.
Pretty good, man.
Jordan in Nashville says easy Two-Tone Blues.
Oh, that's good.
8955 says Amy ! But like,
Oh yeah,
pure Prairie League song.
Oh, what about the Keith Whitley song, Miami?
Yeah. Yep. 0945 Music City Misery.
Oh yes, keep these rolling, man.
Mike in Lebanon, Great Expectations is not our thing. Chris in Nashville. This is a Freddie Fender song, Wasted Days and Wasted Nights.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one.
It's a great song.
Kevin should have been a cowboy. LOL. Jess says Two-Tone Tears next tattoo. There you go, Jess.
Oh, nice.
Another one for Two-Tone Blues. A lot of people have come up with Two-Tone Blues. So play off the two-tone.
Oh, dude, my Two-Tone Tears is good.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Off the top rope too, man. Usually takes a while to get warmed up.
I was ready. When you started talking songwriter, I'm like, how can I work this in? And
right. I will tell you, I sit in my little cubicle back there, and I've probably written 500 songs, and 498 are awful. Just you go back and read them, like, good Lord, who was in my mind when I wrote this? But every once in a while, you pop out a good one.
Yeah, it's good. Also, Mark Byington, Vanderbilt basketball coach, will join us today at 10:30. So looking forward to talking to him as they've had a couple of good wins in a row and on point potentially to make the tournament.
Mr. Rexroad, I listened this morning when I was at the gym. He thinks Vanderbilt made the tournament.
I think they're in.
I mean,
I obviously I think they need to have a good showing in the SEC tournament just to, just in case.
Solidify it, yeah.
But I think they're in.
We talked the other day. It's been 9 seasons since Vanderbilt made the NCAA tournament. It's just it's like I remember him yesterday being in the tournament.
He does it in the first year.
I
just that to me, I mean, I like him. I liked the hire when they made it. Because what he's done in the past, but just the group he's put together, his demeanor, he kind of fits that program.
Yeah.
And it's been a complete 180 just like that. And now they're looking like they're going to make the tournament.
I mean, how many players did he have when he took the job? Like a couple?
I don't even know. I mean, there's not many left from last year's team. And I think what's left has kind of been on the bench. But I mean, he's got a group, Edwards and Nickel and Magnon, another Magnon, that kind of rotates in, and he's got a good group that he can rotate in and out. That's the thing that Stackhouse always struggled with, is he never had depth. He had 5 good players, but he never had depth.
Well, Stackhouse was too busy arguing with all this on social media. Is the Missouri game here or there?
It's here.
Okay.
At Memorial. So we will talk to him.
Some of that magic
coming up. But our question of the day, if you were to write a song about the Tennessee Titans, what would the title be? We'll take those answers and much more, plus get into some combine news coming up next. It's Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. There you go, Joe.
Yes.
Chasing Big Joe, 1025 1063 The Game. You can weigh in on our question of the day on our phone or text line at 615-737-1025, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. If you were going to write a song for the Tennessee Titans, what would the title be? I said My Two-Tone Tears. We got a lot for Two-Tone Blues. Jess, Music City, Misery. Keep the alliterations coming, LOL. 3129, How the Ball Bounces. 9943, Just Another Manic Sunday.
Oh, yes.
Devin and Dixon.
Yes.
Oh, this is good. Devin and Dixon, Mayo Boy, The Ballad of Will Levis. By the way, so he was at the Preds game last night.
Oh, was he?
And they I was just watching on TV, but they not acknowledged that he was there. And I asked somebody, I said, hey, what was the reaction when they showed him? And they said there was no reaction. He chugged a beer and like a few people clapped, but basically people were like, whatever.
Is that the standard move, the beer chugging?
I guess.
To get people to applaud?
I mean, Kittle does it. Lawan does it.
I mean, I'd applaud Will
Yeah,
Levis.
no, it's cool. I mean, but
guy,
apparently there was no reaction.
Oh. Well, I mean, the guy gave his heart. I mean, he's just not good. That's okay.
I know. But you know what, though? Like when I had on my timeline on Facebook that it was 10 years ago that I was at Monday Night Raw, WWE, and they showed Ken Wisenhunt on the screen, and he got booed out of the building. And I remember us talking about that the next day. Like I came in, I was like, guys, I was at wrestling last night. They showed Wisenhunt. He got booed out of the building, and it became a topic of like, are you that done with him at this point in time? And my thing is, if you get no reaction at all, that's worse than getting booed.
Let me process that. Yes.
I mean, if nobody cares,
yes,
it's like that's almost worse.
I'm trying to think, has there been a situation besides that where they showed somebody and they booed? I can't think of one.
I mean, if they had booed Will Levis last night, like we'd be talking about that. Yeah, like oh wow, okay, everybody's. But the fact that like nobody really cared,
right?
And I've heard from one person that was there that said there wasn't really a reaction. If you were there, you know, kind of tell me your take. But I thought that was funny. Devin Dixon, Mayo Boy, The Ballad of Will Levis.
Just Another Manic Sunday.
That's a good
besides one. Yours, which is My Two-Tone Tears. It's pretty good.
Gunner says The Titanic Meltdown, and I guess to the tune of The Final Countdown. It's a Titanic meltdown. That's a good one. All my Titans fans are sad tonight.
Good one.
All my rowdy friends.
Yes. I like that.
Vandy, let's see. Oh, that's a Vandy text. Dread the Spread.
Is it a betting?
I guess that's from Bradford. Let's see. Christian and Mount Juliet, Tennessee Tough Love.
Yeah. Okay. I'm putting it in my head.
Another one says Barn Fire. There's a blue tear in my $18 beer. That's from Al. That's a good one.
Yes.
Let's see, 1062, two song titles, 99 Problems and the O-line is one. Or this is Adam in Green Hills, or Wake Me Up When the Rebuild Ends. Well done.
That's a really good one.
9756 missed the joke and said Pure Prairie League already wrote Amy. So
okay, thanks.
Thanks. We didn't know that. Patrick, great question. My title is That's Just the Way It Is by Bruce Hornsby, which sums up the franchise.
It truly is just the way it is. How many times have we said that over the years?
Yeah, I know. Jess also says no reaction is 100% worse. I agree. I mean, if everybody's like, oh, look, there's Will Levis chugging a beer, who cares?
And nobody did anything. Oh, I guess. I mean, it's poor guy, man, but that's what it is.
It just, that's where he, I mean, and look, he could be, we've talked so much about these reclamation projects, you know, here in a few years, he might be one. You never know, but I don't think it's going to be here.
I don't think he's to be here either. And it's going to take a lot to work with him to get him out of the things that he does. Really, I think he ends up in Jacksonville at some point. I really do.
Yeah,
because they're tight. They're thicker than thieves. They're like Andy Dufresne and Red. They're thicker than thieves.
Yeah. So the ESPN.com has they like doing these this time of year, matching a free agent to all 32 teams.
Okay.
For the Tennessee Titans, they have put a defensive lineman, Milton Williams, who's been with the Eagles. He's an interior defensive lineman for the Eagles who over the past played for them the past 4 seasons, had a big Super Bowl, 4 tackles and 2 sacks and 1 quarterback hit. He had 5 sacks and ranked 6th in pass rush win rate among interior linemen in 2024.
So that's a free agent here, and you're gonna what's his cost?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm telling you, Chaser, these second contracts these guys are getting,
yeah,
I'm just real wary of what they're going to get because we go back again. Belichick never paid these guys.
No,
take care, go on. And how many of them really? I mean, you could figure out. There's a couple who did really well once they left the Patriots, but not a lot, man. And I don't overspend for somebody that's going to come and have a hurt groin. I just think you get that second deal. I saw Chris Johnson, and I argued all day long when he got that second deal. He was half the running back he was. Like this, it's just the way it goes, man. So overpaying on these guys is just killing me.
They also have the perfect trade outcome for Harold Landry in this.
Which arena team would this be?
It's actually when I tell you the team they have, you're going to be a little surprised.
Okay.
I'll tell you. So you want to know what's coming back this way?
Yeah.
They have a 2025 4th round pick. Now, if you get a 4th round pick for Harold Landry with that contract, I think that's a win.
Absolutely.
The Baltimore Ravens. Landry, they say, quote, Landry would make a great Raven. Baltimore wants to have a rotation at that position. The Ravens gave at least 500, but no more than 700 snaps to 3 players on the edge last year. 2 of those 3 players, Odafe Owe and Kyle Van Noy, are signed only through 2025. Landry has enough coverage ability to work in the system and can provide immediate pass rush impact at a position the Ravens have consistently missed on draft picks and need quick help. You know what's going to happen? If they did that trade, send him to Baltimore, he'll end up with like 15 sacks next year.
Absolutely will. So if that scenario, then the Titans have become the minor league development team for the Ravens.
Yeah, I know.
Because Derek Mason, Samari Rolle, Steve McNair, Brent Urban was a former Titan now at the Raven.
Yep.
Derrick Henry. I'm leaving somebody else off too.
Yeah, you're missing one.
We got Michael Orr, but that doesn't count.
There's one more.
And now I love it because you get what's the
we
contract?
Got Green Peas too.
Yeah, right. 18, 19 million. Is that what the contract is with Harold Landry?
Yeah,
see ya.
Like that. Yeah. I mean, I would do it. Look,
I'd drive you to the airport. We would drive
Harold
Landry. If you could take this trade, we will drive you to the airport.
Yeah. You can get a car.
I can get a car. Chase it in the back. We could talk, have a good time. We'll take you to the airport.
Harold, we enjoyed your time here. Good luck in Baltimore. Tell Derek we said hi.
Say hi. And then that contract, and then that's a party Amy Adams would throw.
Yeah.
Like that fake one she threw for Rand Carthon. She'd have a party to get rid of Harold Landry's contract. By the way, I went back and watched that again recently.
I laugh every time.
And just knowing what we know now and kind of knowing what we knew then about Amy Adams and that party for Rand Carthon, that is like taking your 2-year-old to Chuck E. Cheese and saying, hey, look at this today. And knowing that, why the hell am I here at this disgusting place?
What was it? Is it Garth that had that? No, Toby Keith. I wish I didn't know now what I
didn't know then.
What I didn't know then. Yeah.
I mean, it is so over the top fake. And the people on the second level clapping and going crazy, like Mick Jagger's walking in. And I'm sure somebody said, who the hell is this guy?
Right.
Was told probably 10 times. So go back. If you're feeling down, go back and watch that because it'll make you laugh.
It's a good one for sure. Coming up next,
Faux show.
Predators get the win last night against Winnipeg. We will talk to the CEO of the Nashville Predators, our buddy Sean Henry. will join us. Coming up next, Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Our theme continues today. Jason Big Joe, 1025, 1063 The Game on this Friday.
That's the great Carl Smith, written by Bill Anderson. The Lord knows I'm drinking. And that sums up Titans fans.
It does for sure. But hey, it was a fun one last night at Bridgestone Arena. Predators get the win 2-1 over the Winnipeg Jets, slashing a 11-game win streak by the Winnipeg Jets. And we say hello now to the CEO of the Nashville Predators, the one and only Sean Henry, joins us now. Sean, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good morning, guys. How are you?
We're good. I mean, anytime there's a win, at Bridgestone Arena, you got to wake up feeling good, right?
Yeah, last night was fun. It was our second Hockey Fights Cancer night. And I don't know if you were there or not, but the building was electric. And it just shows how great our fans are. Because obviously the season isn't exactly what anyone wants. But when we killed that 5-on-3, almost a 2-minute 5-on-3 late in the game, I thought the speakers were going to fall off the rafters. It was incredible.
Yeah, it was cool. I was not there last night, and I usually am because Hockey Fights Cancer Night is, always been a important night and one that I've always recognized. Obviously, it means a little bit more to me now in the last few years after losing my dad, and you guys do such a great job with it. And it's, I was watching the broadcasts, and Lindsay had on a couple of people that had been affected by it, and meeting donors and stuff like that. It's just really, really awesome what not only the Predators but the NHL as a whole do with that.
Yeah, it's funny. The women that were interviewed, one was a donor, and she saved the life of the other woman. They never met before. It's so emotional when they meet live. But I have never seen a question turn into a longer answer in my life, and it was beautiful. I think it ran into like 3 commercial segments. And, poor Lindsay was trying to get the mic back in control. And that woman was so passionate. And I mean, how emotional was that? I mean, literally, a stranger saved another stranger's life. At the game last night, I had an opportunity to get swabbed. It's so easy to do. And, you might be called 6 months from now or 5 years from now to step in and do the same thing. So it's wins are so important. What we do in bringing people together is even more important. And last night was a good sign of it.
Sean, obviously this next week, a lot of people are going to be talking about the Predators and, trade deadline and things like that. What is this next week going to be like for you in your role with the team from a hockey on ice standpoint?
Yeah, it's I always love and hate the trade deadline. As a fan, you'll love it, right? You love chaos, and I always hear Joe talk about that. And what's happening? Why did it happen? If you're trading for the expiring contract, will he sign long term? What's the thought process? Some teams are going to hold, believing they'll get into the playoffs. So from a fan standpoint, it's always exciting. But from my position, the past couple of weeks, Barry, myself, Bill Haslam, we've met at least once a week, if not more. So yesterday we sit down and look at who we are, what we are, what's really attractive to other people. What does that mean for the remainder of this season? What does it mean for next year? And really for the next, 5 to 10 years as well. Because even if you are, selling, if you will, are you getting back draft capital assets? Are you getting back young prospects? Are you getting back, a veteran with some type of contract, with legacy years or expiring? So you try to fit that puzzle together to make sure you're layering all your contracts together pretty well. Last summer we went out and went forward. Everyone thought it was, the most incredible off season any team's had. I think you picked us to go 82-0, and then I think 16-1 in the playoffs. Obviously it didn't happen, but what we did put together last summer has allowed for certain good things to happen this year, and probably given some young guys more prime playing time than we might have anticipated originally. After the trade deadline, if we move some people out, it'll give that second opportunity for the next wave of guys to come on in. So it's exciting. At the same time, the bad part about trade deadline is, you could end up moving some people that you've become close to, whether from a distance as a fan or things you got a chance to see them as, more than just hockey players. You can see them as people and their families. You get to know their parents and their kids. And that's always hard. It just is. And it's the bad part of what we all do. But again, our job's pretty simple. It's to try to build this team into a contending team year in and year out, and not mortgage the future for today, or not wait too long either. So it's That's a lot. That was a long answer. I apologize for that.
No,
it was
a
a
long
Right
answer.
now.
It was a good answer though, and I want to say this too. And I don't usually say things like this on the air, but I know
You're gonna curse?
No, I'm not going to curse. I just in hearing what you said and the tough position that you and Barry and Governor Haslam are all in, if you do have to look ahead and think of the future. But like I look at someone like Ryan O'Reilly, that his name's been mentioned, and I know Barry's been very honest in that he really has to be blown away, for something like that. But he did our Smashville live show this week by himself, was the only guest, and I was told he stayed long after the show was over to meet fans and sign autographs and do those things. And when I hear things like that, and I look at a guy like that and what he's met in a short amount of time to the organization, that's where that's where it kind of gets hard, because it's like, that's a guy I want here. That's a guy I want to see stay here. So, obviously I know you guys have to do what's best for the team, but I would love to see a scenario where number 90 is still around. And I know you guys kind of feel the same way, because he's been such a big part of the organization in the last 2 years.
It's funny the impact a player can have in a city like Nashville in a pretty short period of time. If you would tell me that Ryan O'Reilly's only played here X number of games, I'd call you a liar.
Right.
When we celebrated his 1,000th game last year, I thought he played all 1,000 games here, because his impact has been so big on our young team, on our organization. The input that he provides to us is on so many fronts is huge. But he and his family they're so integrated in the community in such a short period of time. And that's what I really love about the community. The community makes that easy for people to come here and do that. So it's, the trade deadline's always bad. I mean, it really is, because if you don't do anything, then you have, a lot of people screaming and yelling. And no matter what you do, people are always angry, because the bond that's created between our players and our fans really is neat. And it makes it a little bit more sad. At the same time, I'm not here to tell you we're doing anything. If
Sure.
The trade deadline comes and goes, and the only thing we trade is, Max Hers or Willie Donick.
Yes.
It's good, because you look at the team that we do have, and, with a few, tweaks here and there, next year is going to be very different. Look at what New Jersey's doing this year versus what happened last year. Washington, the same thing. I'm excited about the future. I mean, I really am. Our prospects are loaded. We've got 3 first-round picks this upcoming draft. I don't even know how many picks we have over the next 3 years, but, it's like 28 or, something insane. But the future is bright. I mean, it really is. But, the next week, there's going to be activity around the league, which will give us all a lot of good things to talk about, or bad things. Maybe for a week, we'd stop doing fantasy football drafts for an hour, because as a Giant fan, they just depress me, because I know what's going to happen. We're going to make mistakes.
We're talking to who claims to be the CEO of the Nashville Predators, although we've never actually seen him do any work. Sean Henry's with us today. Sean, early this week, we'll get back to real quick. Speaking of the Giants, Phil McConkey had a birthday this past week, okay? And nobody here knew Phil McConkey. It kind of hurt my soul, Sean.
I'm going to guess he turned 71. How close am I?
68.
Dang it, I was close. Phil McConkey might have had the greatest catch in the Super Bowl ever, when it bounced off of Mark Bavaro's hands and he slid in and dove under him and caught it. People forget he went to the Navy. He served 7 years in the Navy before he played his rookie year in the NFL, and pretty big impact in 4 or 5 years. He was fun, wasn't he?
Oh, he was so great. Number 80 to watch and do all that. I want to ask you this though, on the part of your job, and you don't have to answer this, and I totally understand. When there's a move being made within the organization, are you informed? Do you know afterwards? Are you brought into a meeting and just to let you know? How does that work? And you don't have to answer that at all.
Yeah, when I see the program card, that's when I'm informed.
Who is this
very
guy?
Rarely any surprises. Again, how our offices are laid out, where they're just so open. Literally yesterday, I was in a meeting with Bill, waiting for Barry to come on out, and we ended up in the hallway, and we were talking, and also we looked at the 3 of us, and people were buzzing by. It was a game day. It was crowded. Yeah, I said, guys, we should probably go to an office and shut the door. And we were laughing, because we do a pretty good job of not letting things leak, and we almost violated that yesterday. But no, you talk often. You see all the possibilities that are out there. And, 98% of them never even have a second conversation. But you always have to look, from our first round pick this year to our second to our third. What does it mean? What's it worth? What are people asking? Who's talking to us? I mean, Barry's talking to 31 other GMs and teams multiple times a week, especially right now, but at least once a week in normal season. So, when we get together later today and we talk in the morning and all those things, it's, hey, here's the update. This is where we're going. This is what we're thinking. This is, if we do this, this is what it means. If we do this, it means we don't do this or this. So many layers and dominoes that are intersecting that now we talk literally all the time, and your mind races because you're like, all right, we just talked about 500 possibilities. But if 1 and 5 happen, nothing else happens. But if 4 and 11 happens, well, we got to do 18 more things. So it's amazing to watch, Jeff and Brian and Scott and Barry work together, and all the input from our scouts, that are all here this week. It's fascinating to watch. What I really am impressed by is the sheer volume of communication, and the way we all talk is, again, if we do this, this is what it could look like the rest of the season next year, 2 years from now, 2029. And that's what people, I don't think, see. That whenever you talk about any move you're doing, whether it's a trade, a draft pick, or signing, is what it potentially could do for you 4, 5, 6, 7 years down the road, good and bad. And so we just talk all the time.
Oh, that's cool. I'd like to come down and hang out one day with you guys and just be an intern. And,
I would love to be a fly on the wall.
Right? We'll do that. I know March is important to you guys. It's Women's History Month. And look, I go back to years ago, the way you guys have built this franchise, not just, hey, get all the guys in there, but have really embraced the female perspective of this franchise is really cool. And there's a lot of good things you guys are doing in March for this.
Yeah, it is. It's we created the Music City Celebrations, this year to highlight, different segments in our community, celebrate their rich history, their contribution, whether it to be our sports in general, or just the community and the culture of music. And it's just so much fun to do. And what I'm most proud about is when we really started to lean into those individual celebrations, there was a lot of noise around it, like, hey, when is Joe Dubin Day? We don't celebrate 57-year-old white dudes with normal intellect. I was like, well, that's every day, by the way, guys. I mean, it's every day.
Right.
But here's an opportunity to celebrate people that have enriched our community and touched lives differently. And when you do that, all of a sudden, selfishly, we're selling to 100% of our population. We're making Bridgestone Arena a welcoming place for everybody, no matter what you're faced with, who you are, what you are, where you're from. And what ends up happening, you have, one of the best environments in the venue in all sports. And you're proud of it too, because celebrations are good. Celebrating accomplishments are good. Anyone that gets angry at someone else's celebration, I just feel badly for them, because how could your joy make me angry, right? So, yeah, it's important. And, I wish we could announce a brand new WNBA team in March to really bring that celebration to life. But even if we don't, succeed in this initial bid, the fact that we rallied around Pat Summitt and what she's done for sports, what she's done for secondary education, and then thirdly, what she did for basketball, really put a nice, exclamation point on what it means to celebrate somebody.
For sure. Sean, always enjoy these conversations and the insight that you provide. And I mean that's especially this time of year. It's really cool, but enjoy the road trip. Good luck in New York, and we will talk to you soon.
Yeah, well, I have to clarify that you really meant a nice compliment. I just assumed you did. Now I'm worried about all the other.
No, I really did.
Well, Sean, we want to also thank you for the trip to Chicago a few weeks ago. But a quick question: why couldn't we make the New York trip work?
Well, because Barry Trotz told me, look, he will not let you guys on the plane without me, and I'm not going to New York. I'm actually going to Columbus for the Stadium Series game, a couple of meetings.
Oh,
so if I was in New York, I would have taken you guys with me. If you want, you can jump in the family roadster tonight at 7:00 and drive up with my wife and I
to Columbus.
To Columbus,
yeah,
Ohio.
We'd love
to the Horseshoe for a Stadium Series game. And the best part about it is everyone's going to compare it to ours. And I love Columbus. I love what they do. But to a person, it's going to be, man, this is great. but it wasn't as good as Nashville, and I take a lot of pride in that.
Now, let me ask you this. Will you wear Preds gear from head to toe?
Well, I always have gold on. I mean, I don't know if there's ever been a day where I don't have some level of gold on. But I think I'll wear my Stadium Series jacket at a minimum tomorrow. But I'll probably mix in an Ohio State, hat. I won't wear another team's logo.
Good.
But I'd like to support, the Columbus Blue Jackets tomorrow because, they're our hosts and they're all a lot of good friends that are there. So I'll support them in a very inconspicuous way. But no, I'll have some Smashville gear on, some gold on. What I won't do is I won't wear a Preds jersey to another team's game. And when I see that, I just don't understand. I was talking to a guy last night wearing a Rangers jersey. I was like, did you buy a ticket to the wrong game? Like, what are you doing?
We'll go.
Really fun,
Chase says he'll go on one account if he'll stop at Buc-ee's in Kentucky.
No Buc-ee stops, man. I love Buc-ee so much, but it takes way too long when you pull in there. I got to buy my deer feed. I got to buy extra jerky. It's like a 2-hour stop. It's incredible.
Well,
hey, Chase,
yes,
did we talk through the commercial break? Are you going to get fired now? Or
no, I don't care. We can do whatever we want.
All right, let's roll then.
What do you want to talk about?
This was fun, guys. I appreciate it. And let me know if you guys want me to meet at Tim Hortons up there and high five a little bit. And I don't even know what Columbus food is, so I can't. That's where I stop. I know they have a Timbit. So
yeah, we'll
Columbus. Do you guys know? Like,
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Don't know.
We need to talk to some Ohio State people and get some info on that.
Call Vrabel.
I guess.
Call Vrabel.
You know what? He might be my next call. I think actually I wouldn't be surprised if he's there.
He might be.
We'll probably hang out a little bit.
Yeah.
Do brunch on Sunday.
What up, Braves?
He's a big hockey fan, though. I mean, he used to come to most Father Ryan hockey games when he was here. It was always fun to see him in the crowd. He's a pretty big supporter of all the programs of Father Ryan, but he has a special interest in hockey. It's fun for my son who coaches Father Ryan. I'm a big fan of his. So
yeah, he's a good dude for sure. Thank you, Sean.
That's it. All right, guys.
That's it.
Have a good weekend.
You
See
too.
you guys.
Bye.
See you, Pumpkin.
Sean Henry, the CEO of the Nashville Predators, joining us here on the show. Come back with more next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game. Broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios. Home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership where the buzz is always about great service. You can tune in later today here on 1025, 1063, the game. It is the Vanderbilt Commodores take on UCLA in Southern California. Pre-game begins at 6:45, first pitch at 7 o'clock. You can also listen on the app and at thegamenashville.com.
Can we, real quick, I know we have to get to the top of the hour, but Sean was right about Buc-ee's. And I'm telling you, I wrote about this for the paper.
It's not a quick stop, no.
I've never seen anything like Buc-ee's in my life. You know the tractor beam in Star Wars?
Mhm.
That's what Buc-ee's has.
Yeah.
Because you can't drive past it. They throw something out there that sucks you in. And don't call and text like, I've never been on. You all go. You all go. You all go to Buc-ee's. And don't say you don't go when you do go. Just embrace it.
When I drove down to Florida in November, I planned all my stops around where the Buc-ee's were.
Right.
Like there's one, before you get to Atlanta. So that was my first one. And then there's one, I think I stopped at 3. There's one outside, there's one way past Atlanta.
Yep.
Like, kind of halfway. And then there's I think another one.
You know what, Bucky and I wrote about this again. Their marketing, what they do, it's genius. It's simple. You know what their billboards do? What does every billboard have? Bucky's on every billboard. What else is on there besides a cute catchphrase? There's something else on there. Do you know what it is?
How many miles away the next one is?
Exactly.
And when
Brilliant.
you leave, like when you get back on the interstate from leaving, it tells you where the next one is.
It's brilliant. It's
Yeah.
simple guerrilla marketing, which just gets to the point and blasts it out. And I can't not stop. I go in there. I'm like, no, I'm not getting it. Then I come out and I got 3 brisket sandwiches and I'm bloated for the next 2 hours.
And the
It's
chips
awful.
and all of that. Coming up next, Chris Sanders is going to join the show. We'll get his thoughts on some of the news coming out of the combine, including a potential number 1 overall pick for the Titans. We'll do that next. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game. Ah, yes. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe. 102.5, 106.3 the game. Chris, I'm just going to answer this on the air because, I saw it dropped out. Christopher Dwayne Sanders joins us now.
Can you hear me? Y'all good?
Yeah, we got you.
Hey, did you hear the good news?
What's the good news?
They're playing a hockey game at The Ohio State University. Are you excited about that?
They are. The outdoor game is tomorrow at the shoe.
That's going to be crazy. What, 90-some thousand people going to be there?
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be a really cool cool thing for sure. At the horseshoe that's not a horseshoe anymore.
I know it's a weird shape. It's not a horseshoe.
Was it still
How y'all fellas doing?
Was it still the horseshoe when you were playing there?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it is shaped like a horseshoe, but they add some stairs and some seats. So
the Sanders family wanted to come see Chris play football.
Yeah.
So that was...
No, man, they'll boo you in a minute. They will get you up out of there.
No, we're doing well. I want to start with Abdul Carter.
Sure.
The news comes out a couple of days ago at the Combine that he has a stress reaction in his right foot. Not a stress fracture, but basically something that could lead to that. A lot of people had thought he could be the number 1 overall pick coming to the Tennessee Titans. If you're the Titans now, does this scare you away?
It scares me a little bit because the thing about it is when you got the number 1 pick, you got to come in and play right away. And we just don't want a situation to happen to where he comes in and, he has a stretch fracture and it gets worse. And then on top of that, you got to remember that I think he hurt his shoulder in the bowl game. So when you're talking about getting the number 1 pick, a guy to come in to make plays right away, and he's sitting on the sidelines, that's just going to be a bad taste in the fans' mouth and also everybody in Tennessee.
So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same way. If you're a Titans fan and you know the history that they have of either signing or drafting injured players, I mean, you're like, no, right?
Yeah, you got to shy away from that because, I mean, if you look at the situation that happened this year, you had Snead that was consistently hurt. You had Awuzie Cheeto. He was consistently hurt. So even though you may have some impact players, they can't do nothing for you on the sideline. So when you have Abdul Carter from Penn State, he hasn't stepped foot in a practice. He hasn't stepped foot in an NFL game. So when you have a situation to where he comes in hurt, that question mark is going to linger about, man, the Tennessee Titans did it again. They went and got some good players, but they're consistently hurt.
Cam Ward not going to throw at the Combine. It looks like Shador's not going to throw at the Combine, but they'll go through the interview process. Both of them spoke at the same time today, so that was smart by the NFL. But Cam Ward said if he goes number 1 to the Titans, he would, quote, be plug and play, end quote.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. I mean, if I know that I got Abdul Carter, I got Cam Ward or Shador, I'm fighting for the number 1 position. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure it's unanimous that I'm the guy. So if I'm Cam Ward or I'm Shador, I will be at the Combine. I will be at the individual workouts. I will make sure to where it's no doubt that you pick me number 1. And I understand everybody's different. Everybody does things different. But at the end of the day, listen, if I have a chance to be the number 1 pick and I'm competing with 2 other guys, I'm going to throw every drill. I'm going to talk to every coach. I'm going to be at every interview. I'm going to make every drill to make it unanimous that I'm your guy to come in and make some plays.
We're talking to our good friend Chris Sanders.
What,
Chris,
man, where's my song at, man? I didn't get a song this week.
Here we go.
We just got to go on and have a good.
There you go, man. Thank you.
Oh my God.
That is an awesome song. I'm telling you, it came out in 1987. So good.
He looked like Rick James, or between Rick James and some other guy.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh man. All right.
I know.
There you go, baby.
That was a little over my head there.
Oh, it's a great song. Don't Google. The guy had a rough ending to his life. It's just great song, though. He left us with that. Hey, listen, I go back. Look, at the Combine,
sure,
all those people there are to nitpick you. So I don't mind them not throwing because all they want to do is break you down. Am I wrong in this?
No, but see, here's the thing. It's not just trying to break you down. It's the intangibles that they're watching for. They're watching to see, can you take coaching? If you drop a ball, can you respond? How are you going to handle the pressure when all the eyes are watching you? Because when I went there, I had a chip on my shoulder, and I share this story all the time. I had a guy in my group, Westbrook from Colorado, the wide receiver. So he was talking stuff to me before it all started. So I had a chip on my shoulder. So I went out there to prove, not just to Westbrook, I was proving to those coaches that I'm not just a track guy trying to play football, because that was the stigma they were trying to put on me. So I went out there to say, okay, you know what? I can catch every ball. I can run every route. I can run a fast 40 so I can just prove to them that I'm your guy. So yeah, they're going to nitpick. Yeah, they're going to do all these things. But at the end of the day, they're watching how you respond. They're watching how you take coaching. They watch that if you fail in the drill, how do you come back? So it's so many things that they do.
But you had something to prove.
Yes.
Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, to me, have nothing to prove.
No, they really don't have nothing to prove. But here's the deal: if 3 guys are trying to try to get the number 1 spot, then why wouldn't I throw? I mean, if I have a chance to be the number 1 pick of the draft and there's 2 other guys that's fighting for that position, heck yeah, I'm going to go in the combine, even though I know I'm going to get drafted in the top 10. It's about positioning yourself. And the way you position yourself is to make it no doubt that I'm your guy.
Yeah,
So,
Cam did say 5 years of film speaks for itself.
That's what I sit here and tell the time. Look, how many times did you sit in a film room with the team and coach, and that the eye in the sky doesn't lie? I mean, I know it's cliche. It never does. It shows us everything.
Yeah, but see, here's the difference. You did that stuff in college. The pros is a whole different ballgame. I understand that you did well in college. I understand that you do some great balls. I understand that you did some great things in college. But when you get to the next level, you got to take what you've learned and bring it into fruition. And if I'm a coach and I'm evaluating Cam Ward or Shedeur or Abdul, I'm watching how you respond. I'm watching how you take criticism. I'm watching, how do you respond to adversity? Because the thing about it is all these guys are good, but there's got to be something that positions yourself to be the number 1 draft pick. So if I'm Cam and I'm Shedeur and I'm Abdul, and I know Abdul can't go because he's hurt, listen, every drill they ask me to do, I'm going to do it, even though I don't have to do it.
Here's my thing, Chris. Chris Sanders
Sure.
is with us, and you get this at the visits or pro days or whatever. I don't care how Cam Ward, responded at Miami or whatever to that coaching. I want to know how he's going to respond to my coaching.
Thank you.
In my, when I come to him and say, I need you to do this. That's what I want to know. How you respond to me.
Chase, thank you. You just put everything I said in a nutshell. That's it. How you respond to me, because you got to remember when you're coaching at the NFL level, they pay attention to detail. I'm not saying they don't do that in college, but they're paying attention to the little things, the way you position your arm, the way you go your first, your second, your third, your fourth read. They're looking at all that stuff. Then they're watching how you respond. If you throw a bad ball, they're watching you. So can you take my coach and say, hey, dog, you can't do it like that. You got to get your arms up. You got to look down. You got to do all these things. How do you respond? That's what I want to see. I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, because I mean, I look at different coaches have different methods. I mean, I'm sure for you, Les Steckel was different than other wide receiver coaches that you had.
Yeah, I did. See, Les Steckel was more calm. He's like, Chris, man, I just need you to get it done. He yelled at me once, and I was in the Buffalo game because he was going to come down and get me because I wasn't blocking. But every coach different. There's coaches that cuss you out. There's coaches that, talk about your mama. I'm serious. They do all that. They do all those things. So how are you going to take coaching? And just to kind of piggyback to a quarterback that we know that came here, like a guy named Vince Young. Vince Young came in with a lot of, and this is no disrespect, I'm just throwing it out there. Vince Young came with a lot of success, won a national championship at Texas, but then you get to the pros, and now you got quarterbacks that are challenge you to be great, challenge you to go through your right reads, challenge you to go through meetings. And the way you respond is going to determine your destiny. That's what I want to see with Cam and Shedeur.
Let me ask you this. You always talk about how Les Steckel got on you for not blocking against the Buffalo Bills. And you're like, yes, sir, yes, sir. What if you are Chris Sanders is Les Steckel and say Chase McCabe is the receiver, and you say, look, you better block. And Chase McCabe goes, you better shut your mouth.
Oh, my God. Oh, Lord have mercy.
What would you do now? What do you think Les Steckel would have done then?
I don't think I'll be talking to you right now. But you know what? But see, here's the thing. You're going to have some people that do that and some guys that don't want to be coachable. But here's what I do, because I coach football at Montgomery Bell Academy. Number one, I don't cuss kids out. I don't demean them. But here's what I do. I coach the receiver, but I love the kid. So when you understand that you have a relationship with the kid, they don't care how much you yell at them, they don't care how much you talk about, they don't care how much you demand them to get it done. If they know that you care, they're always going to respond in a great way. So I don't really have too many problems with that because they understand that I'm going to yell at you, I'm going to get on you because I demand that you get it done. But they know that I love the player as opposed to just coaching the wide receiver.
Which is funny, the evolution of coaches. I
Yeah.
vividly remember sitting and when I was playing junior college football, our coach, we had a middle linebacker that was terrible, and we had a team meeting. He showed the film, and it was 15 minutes of the middle linebacker getting blocked down the field, getting beat, everything else, and we were all laughing. The coaches laughed. I looked over. The guy's name was Ford Willingham. I looked over at Ford, and he was crying.
Wow.
And,
see, that's it.
And so I'm thinking now I'm like, God, what a jerk I was back then.
Yep,
We were like, but he was holding back tears. I'm thinking, that's not how you coach football.
No. But see, you got it. See, the thing about it is you're a creator or destroyer. When I say that, you're either creating confidence, you're either creating boldness, or you're creating, some greatness in them. You can destroy a person by calling them an idiot, by laughing at them, by putting them down. That's not coaching. Can I just be honest with you? And everybody's different. If a coach coaches like that, he's an idiot. Because the thing about it is when you're talking to kids, when you're talking to men, your job is to build confidence. Your job is to make them feel like they can, take on the world and develop into great people. But cussing people out and demeanor, that's not coaching. The reason why a lot of coaches coach like that is because they were coached like that. And that's the reason why they do it.
I will tell you, I did laugh at one thing. They showed a video of him. He was peeking in the backfield because the team was running an option, and the tight end, Chris, hit him so far that I still think he's in orbit. I did laugh at that because I've been there.
Yeah,
that was funny.
But,
but 15 minutes, no.
Yeah, but see, the thing about it is you laugh amongst your peers. When I'm a receiver in the receiver room with Derek Mason and Joey Kittle and all those guys, if I get jammed at the line of scrimmage, I'm going to get joked. They even sing a song, jam. They're singing songs like that. But it's all in the confidence of, hey, dog, we know you better than that.
Right.
But when you have a coach to say this, can I break this down? I'm going to say this little quote. It says, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's a complete lie. You got to understand that your words hurt. When you call somebody an idiot, when you call somebody, can I share one story and I'll leave it at this?
Yeah, take your time, baby.
When I was in high school, right, and I was this little young freshman, and I'm coming and I'm doing well. So the head coach, saw that I was kind of being arrogant. So what he did is he called everybody up and he said, if you think you're better than these older guys, I want you to stand up. So me being a young kid, arrogant, I stand up and he looks at me and he stares at me for like 2 seconds. He said, you're the worst receiver I've ever seen.
Woo.
And for 2 years, I carried that fear because of his words. So we got to understand our words hurt. So my job as a coach is to build confidence, not to coddle them and say, hey, little buddy, little Johnny. No, I'm going to pull out greatness and say, you can do this. Let's go run these routes and do what you're capable of doing. Words hurt.
Amen to that.
Jeez.
Amen to that. Hey, good stuff as always, Chris. We appreciate it. Talk next week.
Oh, man, love you guys so much. Thank you.
You too. Have a great weekend.
Okay,
Chris Sanders, Forever Titans wide receiver, joining us here on the program. We'll react to some of what he had to say. Plus, our question of the day, if you were going to write a song about the Tennessee Titans, what would the title be? We'll get back to that as well. 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. And all of our combine updates this week are brought to you by thenewcumberland.com and Boom Boss Pizza. Thenewcumberland.com, Nashville's resort-style community overlooking downtown on the Cumberland River. Go to their website at thenewcumberland.com. Go Boom Boss. Go try their award-winning pizzas at one of their locations in East Nashville, Spring Hill, and Murfreesboro. Boom Boss Pizza and Watch Bar. Eat, drink, watch. Hit the drum.
Oh, my gosh.
My favorite was when they became the Titans. He redid this, and the only thing he changed was the name. Like, we're the Tennessee Titans, big, bad, and blue.
Oh, nice.
Is what it was.
I mean, I think Ronnie Dunn's got one of the top 5 voices in country music history. I remember he played it at a Tennessee Oiler game, and we were like, what the hell is this? Because there's like 18,000 people at Vanderbilt Stadium listening to that song. But it's, here we are 27 years later, still playing that song.
Yep.
Did you find it on YouTube, or do you have the actual record?
I have the CD, but it is on YouTube, yes. Chasing Big Joe here on this Friday. Mark Byington, Vanderbilt basketball coach, going to join us here in just a few minutes. So looking forward to that, as they've had a couple of big wins and then play Missouri tomorrow as they march towards March in the SEC tournament here in Nashville. And of course the NCAA tournament. Really looking forward to talking to him, because I don't think we've had him on.
I don't. Yes,
we have had him on
because I said, "Hey, when you're coaching football," but I'm like, "I'm basketball." I'm sorry.
Right. Okay.
And then he's texting me later on, "Don't you ever do that again."
A lot of people going with Two-Tone Blues. That seems to be the
simple song. I mean, it sums up everything.
Mine is my Two-Tone Tears,
which is the top, and then just Another Manic Sunday.
Yeah,
was a good one too.
I feel like I should try and write that.
Do it.
Maybe
and
over the weekend.
Send it in and get average reply back from NS. If you work at NSAI and you gave me an average back on my songwriting skills, I can't say it out on the radio. Just give me a 1 or 2.
You want to fight them?
No, just give me a 1 or 2. Or I need the feedback. Positive. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Yeah. And that's the thing now. We're afraid to give feedback because it might hurt your feelings. I crave criticism. I know I'm terrible, but I need to hear it from somebody else, or that I'm great. I need to hear that I'm great. And my song's like, that's the next big song.
Joe, you're great.
I'm stuck in purgatory. I don't know where to go. I don't know what door to go out of.
615-737-1025. Chad wants to weigh in with a song title. Chad, what's up?
Hey guys, good stuff this morning.
Thank you.
Guess my song would be Titans. We may never be number 1, but we may always be a number 2.
I like it.
So, yeah, thank you. And so Chris Sanders was talking about the Predators and had some good news. My good news was based off that presser, or I guess it wasn't a presser, but that conversation in the last hour with Sean, where he exclaimed that the future is bright for the Predators, he said. And I wish they would have pressed him on that, speaking of presser, because what's bright about the future of the Predators? I think he said that they have some draft picks coming up. Does that make the future bright? I mean, let's face it, it's rough. And that was a joyful conversation, but I'd like to ask them, how is the future bright for the Predators? And your thoughts, fellas.
Yeah, I'll answer that for sure. Thanks, Chad. Appreciate it. So I think it is, because I mean they got young prospects. Tanner Molendyke, I think, and Nick, you weigh in on this. I think he's the one that everybody's really looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's wrapping up his Western League season, and
he even got traded this year too.
Right, and then he's able to join Milwaukee. Right,
he will not. Well, he can join them after his junior season ends.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
you talked to him.
Yeah,
was it last week?
Pretty recently. Yeah, it's been about 3 weeks since I taped that call with him. Yeah.
So I mean, he's somebody to look forward to. Who's the other guy?
Andrew Gibson.
That's
Gibson. Who he played with at the World Juniors.
Yeah, so he's one to look forward to. And then they got a ton of draft picks, including 3 first rounders this year, and are probably in position to have hopefully a top 5 draft pick in this year's draft. So I do think the future's bright. I think this is an albatross. This was just a bad year, and hopefully they just kind of move past it and can reset.
So this sports franchise in 2019 was 3-12, and you might say, well, what? Then they went 5-11. This is in 2020. Then in 2021 they were 3-13, and in 2021 they did something. A guy came in who said our future's bright. He did. I mean, he came in and said we're going to work and get better. Then they went 9-8, 12-5, 15-2. That's the Detroit Lions. They say, oh, that's a stupid comparison. Not really, because in 2021, when Dan Campbell came there, they were terrible. And you thought,
Yeah.
what's this guy? Speaking of, what do you want him to do? You want Sean Henry to come on and say, I'm thinking about resigning. We're so bad. My coworkers are bad. There's no future here. I'm done. Or do you want to hear, look, let's find the positives that and there are positives here. Let's focus on that and work our ass off to get back
Yeah.
to where we should be. I want to hear Sean Henry say that, which he did, instead of, this is the worst season ever. There was the arena was half full last night. I'm going to take a week off and contemplate my future.
Look, the crowds have been good. I mean, I will give it to Preds fans. I mean, there's been a couple of nights where maybe they haven't been as good as others, but I mean, even through all of this, people are still coming to the game.
Yeah,
so,
give me hope.
Yeah.
Show me. I know what the record is. I know what's going on, but give me hope. And you can do that and get it done. I love the phone call. I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I
get it.
completely know what you're saying.
But
there's a lot of positive that's there if you just got to look for it.
we live in a now world, and now things don't look great.
Yeah.
So I get it. Clay, real quick, your basketball coach is about to come on with us. What's up, Clay?
We're going to have some talk about Vanderbilt there, Case.
Yes, sir. Mark Byington's going to come on.
I'll be listening. I love the previous caller's title, actually.
Okay.
I actually like the song, "We're the Tennessee Oilers." I mean, I don't really have one, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, you just wanted it. We're glad you called. We're glad
Hey, Clay, what do you want us to ask Mark Byington from you?
to let you back in the gym.
Tell him to talk to Candace and tell her to give me a call. Let's sit down and talk about it. Please.
No, we're not doing
Tell
that.
him,
What do you want to hear from Mark Byington besides letting you back in Memorial Gym, which is never going to happen?
I want to hear that he's committed to Vanderbilt for the long haul because I think he's a terrific basketball coach.
Oh, you like him better than Bryce Drew?
I do.
Yeah.
What?
I think so too.
My goodness.
Awesome.
Chase, by the way, Chase,
Yes, sir.
you and I have so much in common. Vanderbilt fans, Cowboys fans,
Two things.
don't like Jerry Jones,
Three things.
So anyway, Big Joe, were the donuts good?
They were very good. Yeah, the staff loved him here. My writing staff loved him, so thank you.
No problem.
Awesome.
Looking forward to hearing Coach Byington.
All right, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Clay. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Always enjoy Clay. That's right. Mark Byington going to join us coming up next. Vanderbilt basketball coach here on the Chasing Big Joe show, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Oh, God. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063 The Game here on this Friday. Vanderbilt back in action tomorrow at Memorial Gym against Missouri, coming off 2 big wins against Ole Miss and Texas A&M. We bring in their head coach, Mark Byington, now, who is on the phone line with us. Coach, how you doing?
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
We're doing fantastic. I got to tell you, I've been to several of your games this year, and it's good to see Memorial Magic back. It's been a lot of fun to follow your program, and I know still got a little ways to go before the SEC tournament and then hopefully an NCAA tournament bid. But as you kind of look at the handful of your last handful of games, obviously tough opponents in Auburn, at Tennessee, at Kentucky, but you were able to rebound with some big wins against Ole Miss and Texas A&M. How have you felt about your play as of late?
Yeah, I think in this league, and we tried to adapt this. You know, we were 12-1 non-conference, and then you look at the SEC conference and the rankings and everything else, and it could be daunting looking at the totality of the entire league. And one thing we just talked about is having unconditional energy, and that can't change when you lose a couple or when you win a couple or whatever else. And that stretch you just talked about, I mean, it's about as hard as you can get. You know, we got Auburn, and we played them here, and we actually fought back and are winning in the second half. And then we go to Tennessee, and that might have been the best game we played all year. We probably deserved to win that game, but didn't. But you got to bounce right back after that too, because you can't feel sorry for yourself. And Kentucky, well, it was a good first half, and they got us. You know, they played great in the second half, and they got us. But then to come back and beat 2 ranked teams back to back, you know, it's kind of the guys adapted to the mentality, and us just trying to keep going.
Well, and the thing that has really stood out to me is you have depth, and you got to have depth in this league. And, you know, I was watching the end of the Ole Miss game where you're just rotating guys in and out any chance you get. So how important has it been to, you know, not only have guys like Jason Edwards or Tyler Nickel, but, you know, your bench that you can rotate guys in and out with whatever scenario you need?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to be a star in their role, and the roles are different for different guys, and we do need our numbers. You know, we don't have anybody that's going to be a lottery pick next year, and a lot of these teams we're going against do have that guy. And so our thing is to kind of keep bringing in waves and numbers and try to be situational on who we play at what time, and you know, the guys have really bought in, because when you do it that way, they got to sacrifice, and they can't always do exactly what they want. They got to do what the team needs.
You know, and what can you say about the toughness of a guy like Jason Edwards? I was watching the, you know, and I mean, it's like this in just about every game. He's getting knocked around, getting knocked down, and I mean, you can tell that it doesn't feel very good, but he pops right back up and is able to help score points or do whatever he needs to do. He is a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, in this league, there's a lot of big dudes, but he's not one of them. And he's got to make up for it with his. Now he's about as fast as they come in this league, but it's a physical game, physical sport, and him drawing fouls, getting hit, or just trying to dodge screens and everything else. It's tough, but you know, he falls down, gets right back up, and sometimes he's a little dinged up through the process, but he wants to be there for the team.
We're talking to Vanderbilt coach Mark Byington on the Chasing Big Joe show. Coach, I've been to a couple games this year, and I love watching you coach from that end of the bench, because you walk, you know, down the court and you almost end up another team's bench. You just keep walking down there coaching your players. And I know you've been half a season now over there and coaching players, but I just like the dynamic you bring to this team, the excitement you bring to this team of, you know, when this team, you came here last fall, there's a lot of unknowns, and now you're sitting there 19-9, 1 win away from 20. What's been the secret for you to get these guys to buy in what you're doing in this short period of time?
Well, I don't know if there's a secret or just probably one thing. I think it's just kind of what we stand for every day. And like look, there are times where it's extremely difficult in this season. We've been doing this for a long time, but we try to simplify that part of it and say, look, let's just worry about getting better. And every single day, I go into my staff and I say, we look across the room. We're trying to make each other better, and we do it in practice with our guys, the strength coach, and anything we can do. And we're at the point of season now. You know, we're about to start March basketball, and we are playing meaningful basketball in March. That's fun. That's you know, they're not every team in the country is doing that. So this is kind of the reward being at this point of the season, playing meaningful games for all the work that we've done for the last 5 or 6 months.
I always remember Wimp Sanderson had a great quote many years ago, coaching Alabama. He said, home wins are great, but winning on the road in the SEC is special. And that win you had over A&M Wednesday night, Coach, that was a special win. How did that feel, get on the plane when you beat the Aggies Wednesday night?
Yeah, I think it took a couple of years off my life, but we did win. It was some stressful things, and that was another game where, you know, it was, if you look at majority of the second half, we had one starter on the court, Tyler Nickel, and it was 4 bench players. And we extended the lead, and they played great. And that was fun for me. For guys who weren't always in that situation to come through, that was probably the best feeling for me. But the thing about these road games and these environments, like I don't think it was always that way in the SEC, where like it is hard road environment. Alabama is sold out, and Auburn and Kentucky, you're going against 23,000. Tennessee, a great environment. Florida is incredible. These places you're going on the road are really, really difficult. So to win anything on the road is appreciative.
You beat Missouri tomorrow, which you will. I've got confidence in you. Are you in the tournament?
Haven't really looked at it that way. And, you know, like I'm kind of looking at the SEC standings right now and us trying to position ourselves for the SEC tournament. And you know, we got to try to win the next one. And we said that last game too. And we got to try to win the next one. And I dropped out of bracketology school. I didn't make it all the way through. So that other people could do that for me.
Good.
Coach Mark Byington is with us. And yeah, I mean, that was going to kind of lead me to my next question, but you know, there are some experts that have 13 of the 16 SEC teams making the tournament, which gets me excited for Nashville here in a few weeks when that tournament is here. But as you just said, you know, you got to take it one game at a time. So you're just kind of putting that noise to the side, I guess.
Yeah, you have to, because you can worry about the wrong things then. And, you know, I know people are talking about the SEC tournament, but, you know, we got 3, you know, really tough games. We got Missouri, like you talked about, tomorrow. Arkansas is playing great. They got 2 or 3 pros, and Calipari's coming to town on Tuesday. And we finish up on the road at Georgia, who, you know, just had a great win at home against Florida. So if you're worried about, you know, things that might have been or all that, you know, I think it can wear you out and waste your energy. So it really is just trying to put your energy in the right focus, right direction, and we'll put everything into Missouri tomorrow, and then when that's over, we'll put everything into Arkansas after that.
Have you kind of gotten the sense now of what Memorial Magic truly means? Because like when I've been to, like I said, several of your games this year, and I haven't felt that atmosphere in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So does it kind of make sense to you now that you've you know, kind of seen it?
Yeah, I get it. And I'm going to tell you the thing that's actually even more impressive than the magical part, which I love, that is there's been some times where we've been at home and we've kind of been in a tough stretch, and when we're a little bit down and out, and there are some arenas you go to and the fans kind of compile on that and they make it worse. Well, Memorial, it is extremely supportive, and they're like, all right, guys, we got you. Like, we're going to help you. And you can feel that. So that to me is the most impressive thing, is the fact that the support when we're not playing great, and they kind of help pull us out of it. So we've needed that. We're going to continue to need that.
Coach, before we let you go, we had this topic last summer, and we had a lot of great response on it. Who is your favorite college basketball player growing up?
I'll give you one for sure. Was Len Bias.
Yeah.
His athleticism and God, and I didn't like Maryland. That was the odd thing. I did not like Maryland at all. But then after that, I know he changed his name, and he's a SEC guy. But Chris Jackson, when he was at LSU, was an incredible college basketball player.
Yeah, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Yeah, he was. He was amazing. All right, I just want to get your thoughts on that. That's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Coach, thanks so much for joining us today. Good luck tomorrow against Missouri, and we're enjoying the ride right along with you.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Coach Mark Byington, Vanderbilt's basketball coach, joining us here on the program. And again, they take on Missouri tomorrow. Pregame coverage beginning at 4:30 on 102.5 The Game. With the Preds game early, they'll be on 102.5 tomorrow evening at Memorial Gym. And then, of course, games against Arkansas and at Georgia to wrap up the regular season before the SEC tournament comes here. I think they're in. Lenardi has them as a 9 seed right now in the South Regional, which would put them in Atlanta, which is interesting, as they would take on Illinois. But the problem is right now he has them in the same bracket as Auburn, which I hate that. But
No, just get there.
Yeah,
And
I know.
I thought he had a good thing. We just got to win tomorrow.
Yep.
And then just win the next game and the next game. But you had a good point. Memorial Magic is back, and it was so loud at that Auburn game. Good Lord. And that's
It was
something that's
fun.
been missed for a
It
while.
was, I mean, the Tennessee game, the Kentucky game, Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss was because Ole Miss travels, and that's a bit of a rivalry, between those two schools. So it has been a lot of fun to watch for sure. Appreciate Coach Byington for joining us here on the show. We'll come back with what day is it and celebrity birthdays. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe 1025 1063 The Game. Appreciate Mark Byington for joining us here on the show from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Nashville's best deal this week, Barrio Burrito Bar in Murfreesboro. Every bite is a celebration of fresh ingredients, vibrant spices, and bold flavors dancing on your taste buds like it's a fiesta in your mouth. Head to theGameNashville.com/deals and get half off a $25 gift card while supplies last. With that, let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays.
All right.
Hang on. Brought to you by Jarrett Companies, Inc., above and beyond industry standards. You can visit them online at jarrettcompaniesinc.com.
Thanks, Chase. Yep. So, what day is it, fellas? I got a couple
It's
of
Friday.
Yeah. Car keys and small change. You guys got some small change just hanging around
Yeah.
somewhere?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to make small change one day at a time.
Oh man.
So it's car keys and small change day.
Uh-huh.
So weird.
I know.
Do you lose your car keys?
Every day. I lose them all the
I
time.
rarely.
And your
so-
wallet.
So this is one thing that I kind of pride myself in. Like, I am very, just particular about where I put my keys. And if you move my keys, like if somebody moves my
Right.
keys, then I will hunt you down because I know where they are at all times.
All right.
All right. In lieu of it being Combine Week, it's International Repetitive Small Strain Awareness Day.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
All right.
so be aware of your
Every day.
strains. Yeah, for most people. And then it's also Chocolate Souffle Day. Dr. Crane always likes to throw in some food there, the food connoisseur that he is. I don't know if you guys like souffle or not. I never had that myself, but yeah, sounds interesting. Public School Sleeping Day, by the way.
All right,
So don't
do
fall asleep in class, kids.
Do that all the time.
Wake up.
And then our
If you're
last,
listening to the show, don't do that, but we appreciate it.
Yes.
yeah, at the same time, yeah. Last one here for us is Tooth Fairy Day.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
You read those with such like a newsman, like a confident newsman.
I'm
Unlike
Nick
I'm
Keezer
just
reporting.
vibing, man.
unlike Dr.
Yeah.
Crane's like, what's this word? Bath. All right, time for celebrity birthdays. You have
Peter.
to get these within two. Keezer, you're part of this today. You ready?
Let's go.
He's
All
ready.
right, you did really well last summer. You did really.
It was fun.
You got
Yeah.
like 9 one day. All right, our first birthday, the great actress from the movie The Jerk and many other things, Bernadette Peters. How old is Bernadette Peters?
78.
62.
77.
Aw.
Chase up 1-0. Off
1-0.
to a good start. At the great actor John Turturro. He was in Oh Brother Where Art Thou? He
Yeah.
was in some of the Transformer movies.
53.
61.
68. 68. Actress Allie Larder. She's in this new show called Landman.
Yeah. 42.
37.
49.
Okay.
Good friend of the show, Jason Aldean.
Jason, what a guy.
Right.
I'm gonna say he's 40.
42.
48.
Hmm.
Chase up 1-0 so far. Going down here. Let's see. You got other people that we've heard of. Actress Mercedes Rule.
37.
48.
77.
Nice.
One of the 2 female singers of the B-52s. I don't know which one. Cindy Wilson.
67.
71.
68. Chase up 2-0. The actress Rae Dawn Chong. She was in Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I love Commando.
Her dad is Tommy Chong.
64.
75.
64 exactly. Chase her up 4-0. Actor Robert Sean Leonard. He was in House and also in Dead Poet Society.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. He played Wilson. He is 60.
I'm going to go with 68.
56. Singer Pat Monahan of the group Train. How old's Pat?
55.
45.
56. Chase up 5-0. Come on, Keezer. Gonna rally back on this guy, this bad boy. All right, we got 5 sports birthdays for you. Here we go. Mario Andretti,
85.
87.
85 exactly. Chase up 7-0. Brian Billick, former coach of Derek Mason,
66.
I'm going to go with 63.
71. Great NBA player Adrian Dantley,
Great.
great player.
60.
71.
70. Keezer's on the board at
Nice.
7-1. The Keezer, you can still tie if you get these two. No, you're out. You lost. All right, never mind. Eric Lindros, however you pronounce
Oh
his
yeah,
name.
Lindros. I'm gonna say 62.
56.
52.
Oh, wow.
And our last birthday, Luka Doncic. What's he
Uh,
been up to lately?
no, nothing. Haven't heard anything about him.
Right?
31.
27.
26, but Chase wins 7-2.
There you go. There you go. Good job.
You battled back, Keezer.
Nick,
Proud of you.
thank you for hanging out today.
Keezer, you never quit, and that's what I preach all the time. Never quit.
Just got to keep going.
Never give up. We made it to the end of the week, JoJo.
Yeah, we did. Listen, it's been a rough week for some of us out there. That's okay. You know what? That's why we're all here together, and it clears the way for bright, beautiful sunshine. So if you're going through something, it's our message. We're not going to stop sending this message out on your cell phone. If you got to talk to somebody, you're going through something, you dial 988 or you can text 988. Somebody's always there to talk to you. Know that. So whatever you're going through, somebody's there for you. We're here for you as well every time. And know that your journey sometimes may be a difficult one. We all go through this, but don't stop going forward. Don't stop quitting. Don't stop, because when you stop, it could be over. We don't want it. We want you to keep on going. Know that we love you and we're here for you all the time. So that's the message. Know that you're tremendously loved, not only by us, but more than anything else in this world. Know this, that God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD coming up next. Enjoy your Friday. We're back at it Monday at 9 a.m. 102.5.